Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Nier with your hosts, Quaddy and Love.
I'm not a host.
And Quad Love.
I'm a god.
I'm not a host. I'm a beautiful woman.
Well, I am bitch tits slash kine slash bitch tits.
Yes. Alright, so anyways, as I was saying, we still have these two. Aside from them, we don't really have to worry about anything else, but...
Get it!
Also, this is the forest tree thingy.
Beautiful.
That becomes important later on, but for right now, we just have to save these
The chick
two.
first.
Chick first. Chick. This must be another person infected by the death dream.
You're death.
Yes.
Gods.
This is a polytheism culture, and we shall respect
Yeah.
Yeah. I breathe air scented with death and resist the urge to laugh, for I know it will sound like the words of a madman. How long have I been in this fresh hell? The fresh prince of hell. My box, my prison, is tucked under a stairway in the long unused catacombs of some infinite castle. Outside I hear the sounds of a funeral dirge that seems without end.
That's hell air, alright.
Light has no place here. Wind is a forgotten friend. I pray for death to come, but he forsakes me. Time passes. An eternity slips by in a single tick of the clock. Of the cloak. Someone knocks on my prison!
Hey, anyone there?
I hear an unfamiliar voice say. My savior! I claw at the door of my jail, embedding thick splinters under my ragged nails. I scream for help. I laugh. I sob. Surely this is a product of my addled mind. Surely it cannot be true.
Help me!
I cry.
For the love of all the gods, help me!
Impossibly, I hear the sound of a lock being torn out and falling to the floor. As the door slowly creaks open, I have just enough time to see a silver-haired man and a floating book before a light pours inside. My eyes, accustomed to blackness, explode with pain. I am forced to turn away.
Who are you?
I ask, shaking hands covering my face.
How have you come to this place? I am Grimoire Weiss. This is Quad Love. Long have we been searching for you.
We have?
Now, come, stand. We shall awaken from this nightmare together.
The one known as Quad Love extends his massive hand and pulls me from the cell. Oh, the big hands. Though my eyes are slow to adjust to freedom, my ears are as keen as ever, and they recognize the staccato sounds of heavy rain.
I never thought to hear the rain again.
I whisper.
I should whisper. This were not so terrible storm. Look at your feet.
Look at your feet. Quote of the video. Look at your feet. I force my eyes open and see water pooling around my feet and lapping at my shins.
There's so much of it. It's all over my body. Yes, and more comes each moment we delay. If we do not make good our escape, we shall all be drowned in this castle.
We will all be drowned.
Know that you are weak, but you cannot. But you are only hope to survive this blaze.
Time, that long-forgotten friend, made itself known again. I nodded my head and swore to save my rescuers, no matter the cost. The castle catacombs are a maze, twisting upon themselves like the endless entrails of a giant. Yeah, we're in a giant butt. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed north. Oh wait, I guess that's our only option. At the end of the corridor, I find a row of 20 gorgeous canopied beds resting atop a carpet of velvet. All are covered in a thick layer of dust and cobwebs.
In a ogre's stomach butt?
Yes. Searching for the door to the next room, I come upon a shapeless mass of gray matter. It's been shoved against the side of the wall, and despite my fever, I think I see the outlines of a door just beyond. When I reach out a finger and touch a piece of the mass, it turns to dust and drifts away on the wind.
Oh no.
Realization slowly dawns, and I fall to my knees and weep. Corpses. I face a mountain of charred and crumbling corpses. I look from it to the beds and back. I look from it to the beds and back and again until the horror dawns full upon me. Someone has piled these bodies into a tower and set them ablaze. Whether they were alive or dead, I do not know. Insanity will not permit me to consider the proposition further. I make a sound, whether scream or laughter I cannot be certain. Then my mind grants me merciful blackness, and I find myself opening the door and leaving that most terrible rooms. I squint down at the dim corridors. I think we go east. I squint down at the dim corridors.
Vest.
No, that would take us backwards. I squint down the dim corridors. Keep going north. At the end of the path, the waters rise to my waist, exhausting me both physically and spiritually. I pray that this is the way out. Eventually, I can stand the sight of the waters no longer, and so turn my eyes upward. Imagine my surprise when I see a series of paintings hanging on the faded plaster wall. Each depicts a person in the prime of life, clad in clothing of the highest quality. The styles, however, are strange to me, leading me to believe that these people have lived long, long ago. One subject wears an outfit that particularly catches my eye. He's not wearing anything. It is constructed of a thin, breezy cloth and decorated with a motif of flowers and birds, while encircling the figure's waist is a leather belt of the most perfect construction. It is a stunning costume, even by modern standards. As I gaze at the portrait, I am struck by a desire to touch it with my own hands.
Touch it.
Yet, as I extend a single finger to the painting, I am gripped by a most unpleasant feeling. Staring closely at the image, I see it bend and warp into the shape of another finger. What? Something behind the picture is pointing at me! Is it another prisoner? A fellow inmate trapped for eternity in this place? I cannot let it pass, and so I seize the portrait with both hands and throw it into the water. The wall is hollow behind the painting, and inside I can just make out a body. Whether or not this is a prisoner, there would be no rescue. This poor soul is long dead. Scraps of clothing lie on the floor around the bones. Only a small amount of the fabric has survived, but it features the same delicate designs that were depicted in the portrait.
This is a depressing story.
I've been admiring a row of corpses, blocked from view by portraits of each victim at their pinnacle. Enough. Shielding my eyes, I paddle forward through the water. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed south. I squint down the dim corridors. Where should we go, east or west?
Vest.
Vest?
Vest.
What if we die?
Don't fucking care.
I think west
Fine,
is the
east. Go east then.
West! I find myself in a great hall with only the sounds of rain for comfort. The waterlogged red carpet squishes beneath my feet as I approach the center of the room. West! Once there, I behold a beautiful dining table upon which rests china and silver of the finest construction, as well as the remains of a fantastic feast. As my eyes continue to adjust, I see many chairs surrounding the table, each holding a dinner guest.
All who are dead, probably.
Yeah. Noticing movement, I approach the chair at the table's head, but as the truth of the matter dawns on me, I recoil unhurt. The host of the feast is a corpse, as are all the invited guests. An army of foul-ridden insects have made their homes in their remains, and this is the movement I saw. This one splendid feast was now nothing more than an expected pile of corpses.
Yup.
Or a requiem.
This is starting to become a theme.
Yep. I take a moment to steady my shaking hands, then slowly back away from the table. Desperate to lose sight of the abomination before me, my gaze lands on the chairs upon which the dead were seated. This is a mistake, for the chairs prove to be even more terrible than the feast itself.
Oh no, what?
Each one is covered in a layer of spikes that run from the seat, up the back, and down the arms.
No!
This explains the color of the carpet beneath my feet. I can only pray that the unfortunate diners were dead when the meal began. For if not, it is a simple task to envision the agonized screams that must have sprung forth from their mouths. My mind grasps frantically at the possibility that these souls had committed some terrible crime for which this was punishment. Though in truth, I suspect they had committed no crime at all. There would be no tomorrow for these unfortunates. This was their last supper. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed north. Against all hope, we make it to the front door. I know there's another part, but if you go there, I think you die automatically.
No.
Someone cries. I give myself to the effort. In tandem with Quatov and Grimoire Vice, I slam my body against the thick, sturdy door. On the third try, it gives way, and we find ourselves sprawled in front of the castle. The storm is in retreat. The clouds above are still dark and foreboding, but the west I can see a thin shimmer of sunlight trying to break through.
How can I thank you?
I cry as tears join the rain on my cheeks.
I would surely have died in there.
Looking down, I suddenly notice my dress is in tatters, and sheepishly try to cover my exposed skin.
Your dress?
Asks Vice.
Then you are a woman, madam. Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I proffer the two with a smile.
I suppose that comes as something of a surprise.
Oh, now you're...
Seeing as how I exist only in the form of words.
Words. I see that the one known as Quadlove is disappointed that the torn dress will be given no further description, but he hides it well. With a nod and a shrug, the three of us set forth to our awakening, and I try and find some new clothes so this weirdo will stop staring at me. But behind us, an awakening of another kind is taking place. Black smoke fills the abandoned castle, providing the countless damned souls inside with their fun shroud. After a moment, the castle's windows shatter with a mighty roar. A fresh breeze blows through the hallways and corridors, clearing the smoke away for good. As we watch in awe, uncountable black shadows slowly flicker to life, crossing to and fro in front of the broken windows. The castle's dead have awakened to their new life as shades.
Oh no! Well, of ellipsis is disease.
Ellipsis disease.
You have anything to say about that?
Hopefully there will be no labyrinth next time. Ha ha ha. Clever. I hear you. I hear you. Alright, we're only halfway done. Maybe we can get the other guy before the end of this episode. Strength capsule.
We can go up 25.
And a box. So this is like our storytelling time.
This is a man, so I can say manly things.
And yet another victim. This works.
I'm gonna make him Scottish. Don't care.
Certainly is trying. Captain!
What do you think?
What do you think?
I'm surprised, Vice.
You're a book. All this work should be right up here. All these words were quite well enough, Chatterless.
Chatter. Hard.
A colony of massive sculptures was visible in the distance, their tall forms scraping against the sky.
I'm really glad we get to listen to this song.
I think this one is pretty short. Vice and Quadlove had never seen such a sight, and their eyes widened as they tried to take it in.
Hey, Vice. We keep walking, but those things don't get any closer. I don't get it. Are they really that big?
As Vice considered his answer, the sun beat down on them with renewed ferocity.
Perhaps they are some manner of mirage,
he said.
Under this heat, a mirage or two would hardly be an unexpected sight.
Quadlove nodded and wiped the sweat off his brow, leaving a trail of sand in its place. What? Oh yeah, because he's got sandy hands. Sandy hands. He thought he'd never been so thirsty. The ancient road on which they walked, black and cracked with age, here and there thin wisps of grass pushed up through the rocky surface, as if defying those who had laid this material down over their home. The heat reflecting from the road made Quadlove lightheaded. Suddenly, Professor Quadlove, Dr. Quadlove.
Doctor!
Suddenly, he dropped to his knees and slammed his hand against the black surface.
God damn it!
God damn it! God damn it! He said.
Is this some kind of joke? Well, I'm not laughing!
The complaining had already begun. This would be a long trip. Vice tried not to let his eyes roll too much.
A joke?
He said.
No joke. This road leads to the city of art.
I love art. Perhaps the path itself is simply some manner of... Oh, wait, you said that.
What? Perhaps the path itself is simply some manner of grand artistic work. Oh, come on! That's bullshit, and you know it!
Woohoo!
Possibly, but thinking of it in this way might make it easier for you to bear.
Quadlove glanced at Vice's grinning face, cursed silently to himself, and resumed walking. Walking. As time passed, Quadlove's feet grew more painful, and his throat drier than he thought possible. He tried not to look further than the next step ahead, because the bright sunlight made him hesitant to trust his own senses.
You're definitely not getting closer,
said Vice, in an effort to be Vice, to cheer his companion.
Yes, this is much as certain as...
This is much as certain as... Encouraged, Quadlove lifted his gaze. Suddenly, he stopped walking, choosing instead to stand in the middle of the road with his mouth and eyes wide open and his finger pointing in the distance. Water!
Water!
He cried.
It's water! Water?
Asked Vice.
Preposterous, I don't see any water. It's right there, idiot! Can't you see it? Look, the sun is reflecting off of it.
Without waiting for a response, Quadlove sprang to life and bounded toward the site.
What the?
There was no water. There was nothing but sand in every direction. Quadlove closed his eyes and sighed as Vice floated up behind him, chuckling softly.
I believe this is known as a mirage,
He said.
Many a desert traveler had spoken of such things.
Quadlove shook his head, bewildered. Suddenly, he pointed off in the distance, his eyes wide once more.
Wait, there it is! I just missed it! Look, it's right there!
Oh, I swear, it's that way! Quadlove sprinted off again, leaving Vice with no choice but to follow.
You have no chance.
No chance to fall. After a few minutes of running, Quadlove came to a halt.
I could have sworn it was right around here.
Confused, he put his hands up to his eyes and rubbed them vigorously. As soon as he stopped, he noticed a blue, shimmering pool of clear water just over the next rise. Oh my god! With a shout, he hounded off in search of it. We're kind of dumb. The chase continued for nearly an hour until an exasperated Vice finally floated up to Quadlove and struck him in the face with his cover. I love that.
You damn blithering idiot! Stop this at once! There is no water here!
Quadlove's face clouded.
There isn't. There is not! And perhaps next time you will listen to me when I tell you as much.
Vice paused for a moment, then continued speaking in a slightly kinder tone.
However, I suppose this mad chase was not altogether wasted. It seems we have arrived in the City of Art.
So much art! Quadlove looked up. Stretched out before him was a row of impossibly tall sculptures. Their journey was at an end.
They're huge!
Cried Quadlove, completely forgetting the heat and pain of the last few hours.
I've never seen anything so big.
Each sculpture was formed from roughly the same shape. A tall rectangle that stretched upward toward the sky. But this is where the similarities ended. Most were covered with panes of glass that reflected the light in 1,000 directions, while others seemed to be nothing but frames of steel. Some had tall spires on their tops, while others possessed triangular caps.
What kind of city is this?
Said Quadlove.
Where are the people? Where are the houses? Where's my daughter? Perhaps the land is intended exclusively for artistic use.
It's the city of art, don't you know? The debate continued as they made their way through the city. Miracles of artistry were everywhere. Great iron crates and with wheels set silent on the steel rails. Beautifully carved works with lights of red, amber, and green dangled over every street. As they moved away from the massive sculptures, they found a great array of smaller ones. Some were covered in glass or brick, but many were composed of materials they had never before encountered. The sheer variety of colors and styles was staggering. Unable to find a theme or purpose to the abstract works around them, Quadlove and Vice eventually found silent. Yeah.
So much reading for you.
I know. On the outskirts of the city, they discovered 3 sculptures in the shape of humans. Quadlove uttered a sigh of relief as he approached them.
Finally, I was getting tired of modern art.
The 3 statues were indistinguishable except for a single word chiseled into their right arms. One read Alpha, one read Beta, and the final one read Gamma. Delta.
Epsilon.
Upsilon. As Quadlove moved to touch the nearest statue, a bird flew from the top of one of the sculptures, alighting on the statue's shoulder. It emitted a brief, beautiful song that took the form of words.
Only one form is real, the others are false. The real form will always speak the truth. The false one will only speak lies. Oh, I love this riddle.
I hate this riddle. I never understand it. You do it. With that, the bird departed, as if on cue, and the 3 statues shuddered to life, acquiring color and form as they began to breathe.
Hey, look at that. They're alive,
said Quadlove. Quadlove. Oh, okay. Triplets bowed low before Quadlove.
Please,
said Alpha.
You have to get me out of this nightmare. I am real. Oh, this is a Scottish guy. Stop lying,
said Beta. He turned to Quadlove and threw his hands in the air.
Alpha's a fake, you know, under here. What a load of crap, said Gamma.
Said Gamma. You go. Beta is a fake.
I don't know. Okay, Alpha is that guy. Okay, Gamma's gonna be Russian.
Oh, okay.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows. I'm the real one around here.
Their respective pleas given, the three statues returned to their frozen state as silence once again enveloped the city.
When you consider all of the statements, only one of them could be the real thing,
said Vice. Quadlov furrowed his eyebrows and considered his answer. Only one form is real, the others are false. The real form will always speak the truth. The false one will only speak lies. I don't know. What do you think? I think it's Beta.
Beta. Just go with Beta.
Use the Scottish one.
The
real one is Beta. Through Quadlov's voice betrayed a notable, although Quadlov's voice betrayed a notable lack of confidence, he was relieved to see Vice nodding at him. If Alpha were telling, you do the dialogue.
If Alpha were telling the truth,
began Vice in the dry tones of a lecturer.
Beta and Gamma would be fakes. But in that case, Gamma claims that Beta is fake and would be the truth, even though Gamma is a liar. Therefore, that their theory crumbles.
You're getting tired, aren't you?
Now the test presume that Gamma spoke the truth. That makes Alpha and Beta liars. In this situation, however, Beta is calling Alpha a lie, which would leave us with
low batteries
telling the truth with low batteries. Finally, let us assume that Beta is telling the truth, so is Galvin with eyes and since therefore Beta must be
real. As Vice finished his explanation, Alpha and Gamma crumbled soundlessly in the dust, while Beta sprang to life once more.
Oh, this is a shot in the dark. We got it.
Congratulations, villager! You just won a new car! Said Vice in a cheerful voice. The time to awaken has arrived.
Thank you for saving me, cried the villager. Now, but
he dropped to his knees and bowed his head as low as it could go before an uncomfortable Quadlov pulled him to his feet. Yes, Vice, have you been to the city before? The villager slowly looked around at the bizarre objects and sculptures that dotted landscape, then shook his head.
I don't think so. I mean, it's impossible, right? There's no way that could have ever seen a place like this, but at the same time, I feel like I've never seen it before.
Yeah, I remember I got both the wrong answers before I got this one right on my first try. I hate that riddle. But Quadlov. It's just like that damn mare.
The vague sense of unease.
That's my line! The vague sense of unease that struck Quadlov during the mare's dream. Thank God this is almost done. It spread once more through his mind.
Give my advice, Quadlov.
Okay, that was terrible. I am positive I've seen that place before. Stop! I get enough foreboding crap from everyone else in my life. Don't you start too. Okay, there. Now all the villagers can wake up, right? Yes, the mayor's assumption was correct. Okay, I think I've had enough wordplay to last a lifetime. Thank you very much. You get one more before the end of the game, but yeah, we're pretty much done with those. Let's go see the mayor. And we got a medicinal herb. Oh boy. Medicinal.
Hello.
Thank you so much.
Have I ever seen you naked? Nope.
When I sword Faith. Holy crap. Can I really have this? It's beautiful. I like that guy's beard.
What did you get?
Of course, we got Faith.
Is that a sword? Is it good?
It's apparently a weapon of some renown, but we have nothing use for it. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you again for everything!
Use it.
Then we never came back. Yeah, it's awesome. This is the best sword.
Charge it! Fire. Uppercut. Strike.
Oh, cool. If you start on different parts of the combo, I guess that you have different charges.
Okay, end this video, because I gotta piss.
Okay, fine. Oh, we're dropping frames.
Frame dropper.
Oh my god. Okay, alright. Okay, okay, computer. We'll stop.
Okay, done. Goodbye.